Is June 27th, 2024. My name is Joe Reingold, and I'm here interviewing Arthur Schonwald.
You got it.
Thank you for being here, Arthur.
Thank you.
Tell us about your life, whatever you want to share.
Well, to be honest with you,
Yeah.
my life started
Yes.
in 1961 when I inherited the territory, Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, Arkansas, for a company called Bailey, Green, and Elger. It was a company that was in every department store in the United States of America. And unfortunately, or fortunately for me, the man that had the territory was getting into his 70s, still working, because commissions were fantastic.
Yeah.
Or I can tell you it was 20%, and to call on the buyers of every major department store in the notions department, which was always on the main floor in every department store to start with anyway.
Right.
So when a woman had lost a button on her dress or whatever, and they thought that they could go into a department store and find the same one, but unbelievably, they can't find the same one because the manufacturer of the dress buys buttons from a different place than the ones that are in the department store for people over the counter. And it was a fabulous type of business. And
How did they recruit you? Where were you living at the time?
well, I was living in New York City.
That's what I
grew
thought.
up. I
Yes.
grew up in Brooklyn,
And
New
that's
York.
what I want to hear, right?
I grew up in Brooklyn, New York.
Okay.
Loved it.
Yep.
Didn't know anything about, unfortunately, not my background, but my family history was not the very, very best. I lost a father when I was 2 years old, heart attack.
Yeah.
I lost a mother when I was 15 years old, a heart attack. And I had a sister that was 2 years younger than me, who also died when she was 39 years old. I was 41. At that point, I was already living in Dallas, Texas. And my life unbelievably started when I moved to Dallas, Texas. It was a wonderful thing. I worked for a button company, the button company called Bailey, Green, and Elger. But we normally would say BGE Originals. And the buttons were just about in every major department store from one end of the country to the other end of the country. And we had salesmen in every one of the different territories. At that point, I had Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, and Arkansas. And somehow or other, the man that had the territory was a wonderful, wonderful man. He did okay,
Yeah.
but he really didn't work as hard as he could with it. When I came down, I was hungry. And
How old were you at the time?
I came down, I was 31 years old at the time.
So what were you doing prior to that in New York?
I was working for the company
Okay.
in New York at a salary,
Yeah.
but the salesmen all had commissions. And the commissions, unbelievably, were 20%.
That's a good one, yeah.
Okay, and so once I got the territory,
Yeah.
and I waited 4 years for the territory. I had to wait for somebody to either retire or die.
So they
These
knew
men
that-
were not going to die
Go
or
anywhere.
retire. That was it.
They knew that you wanted to go somewhere else, though? You had made that clear?
No. I wanted to stay with the company because eventually I knew somewhere, somehow, and after being in the company for 4 years, I was 27 when I joined the company, and 4 years later, at 31, I inherited. What happened was when I walked into the building,
Yeah.
the concessionaire downstairs on the first floor said, "Hey, Arthur, did you hear what happened?" I said, "No," this was on a Monday.
Yeah.
I said, "What happened?"
Yeah.
He said, "Mr. Rogers passed away."
Ah.
And Mr. Rogers had Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, and Arkansas. Okay. So I came into the building. The big shots, the president, the vice president, called me into the office and they said, "Mr. Rogers passed away, and Arthur, you're taking over that territory." And this actually all happened in the month of November. And so came December, that was when we have our party, our Christmas party,
Right.
and the men come in from all over the country because we have sales meetings
Yeah.
at that time.
Yeah.
And at that point, they said, "Arthur, this is your territory." And so I said, "Well, in that case, I'm going to move the first week in January
Okay.
and move to Dallas, Texas."
How did you pick Dallas? Did they pick it for you?
No, I did some investigating. I said I wanted to find out where all salesmen that were territorial salesmen, where did they live? Did they live in Houston? Did they live in Dallas? Did they live in Austin? Where did they live? Or could you live anywhere? And I found out that 90% of the sales reps in that territory all lived in Dallas. And at that point, this was 1961, they were just getting ready for the apparel mart.
I remember it well.
Okay,
Yeah.
and of course, the first thing I did was take a showroom on my own because
Yeah.
I was a commission salesman. This is now going to cost me anything that I do to help
Yeah.
my territory. And it became fantastic. It really, really became fantastic. And from what I understand, I had heard from a number of sales reps that if a man was hired from Dallas, living in Dallas, they didn't like to really, this is the truth, work really hard. They did a lot of fishing. And they lived, they played golf, but the guys that were sent from New York to Dallas, Texas, were hungry.
Yeah.
And they turned a lot of territories around where, for the first time in their life, they were making a good deal of money.
And traveling a lot.
And traveling a lot.
Did you
too.
travel an awful
Well,
lot?
this was it. I traveled 4 times a year to every account. 2 times a year, I would show a brand new line, spring and then fall. 2 lines, twice a year. The other two types of going into the stores was just to say, "How are you doing? What's going on?"
Right.
etc., etc. Make the buyer happy, make sure, and walk around the department and say, "Oh, you know, I think you need a little more of a light blue. You're missing in the colors right now," or something, and they would, and it was easy. It was easy. As a matter of fact, I also had the newspaper, the Dallas Morning News, was interested in, they had a story of me about exactly what we're talking about right now.
Oh, that's great.
Right.
Good PR.
So, and I've got that article
yeah,
in case you ever would like to see the article. It's,
Very
you
much.
know.
How long were you at the apparel mart?
Oh, I was at the apparel, I worked for the company all the way to 85. At 85, at 84 or 85, I'm just trying to remember, I retired. I retired.
You deserved it.
Correct.
After working that.
Correct. And I fell in.
Yeah, right. So
Basically.
tell me a little bit about your family life. your
Well-
wife, your kids?
Well, I'll tell you,
Okay.
when I came to Dallas, prior to coming to Dallas, at the age of 27, my father passed away. So now my mother had nothing more to do but to move back with her mother, my grandmother, and my mother's two sisters that were not married at that time of my life. And so I lived with two aunts, a grandmother, a mother, me, and my sister, who was 2 years younger than me. And I lived in Brooklyn, New York, and didn't know any better because I didn't have a car in those days, and I didn't travel in those days, and things weren't as nice as it is when I moved to Dallas, Texas. My whole life started the day I moved to Dallas, Texas. And
Did you meet your wife here or in New York?
well, my first wife
Yes.
died at an age of 48.
Yeah.
Barbara came into my life about 3 years after my first wife had passed away. And it was tough. It was tough. I had 2 children with my first wife.
Right.
And of course, one of them is Randy,
Yeah.
who I love. And then I have a son that's 2 years younger than Randy. His name is Ivan. And he's also a Texan.
Yes.
Travels on the road, not for buttons. Not for buttons, but does travel on the road.
Does he live here?
He lives in Dallas,
Dallas.
Texas. Well, he lives in Frisco.
Okay.
So I don't know if they say Dallas or Frisco.
Suburb of Dallas.
What?
Yeah.
A suburb of Dallas.
Right.
That's the best way to say it.
Yeah.
Right.
And Randy lives here too.
And Randy lives here too.
Right.
Randy is the older one. Ivan, the younger one.
You're lucky that they're both around you, near
Oh, and
you.
I've got them both.
Yeah.
I've got them both. Unfortunately, too, I lost my first wife in Dallas
Yeah.
a good number of years ago. And about 2 years after I lost my first wife, Barbara came into my life. She was never married. She was single. She was working for a company from Boston, Massachusetts
Yeah.
that sent her to Dallas, Texas.
Oh.
And we met.
Yeah.
We met. We fell in love, and that was it.
You've been together a long time.
And we've been together a long time. And Barbara, well, Randy was still young, though not a baby, but
Right.
but young, correct. As a matter of fact, I think Randy got married before I got married to Barbara. I think
Yeah.
Randy was married already, if I'm not mistaken, because it's so many years, and the years go on.
Yep,
Correct.
they do.
Correct.
So what kind of things do you enjoy doing these days?
Oh, I like a lot of things. First of all, well, because of my age, I'm trying to slow down. And so I'm at an age, I'm 94 years old.
Ah.
A lot of people, I swear to you, a lot of people say, come on, tell me your age. What are you,
Yeah.
78, 80, 81? I said, no, go up. 84, 85. I said, go up. I said 86, 87, 88.
You should just say yes, that's
Okay.
right.
That's what I should have done.
Yeah, you're right, 82, that's
But
perfect.
when I go into the 90s,
Yeah.
they say, come on, why are you lying? I said, I'm not lying. I will show you. I'll show you my birth certificate.
So what's your trick to longevity?
I don't know. That's the scary part.
Well, you're involved in a number of things, you said,
Let's
right?
say that again.
That you're involved in several things and doing several things.
Well, yes. 1 year after I moved to Dallas in 1961. In 1962, I bought a house. I bought a house off of Hillcrest, not on Hillcrest, but off of Hillcrest, about 1 block north
Of here? North
of
Haven?
here, of
Yeah.
North Haven, 1 block Midbury,
Oh,
which
yeah,
is 1
sure.
block north of North. And I lived in that house. I loved the house, and after I lost my first wife, and then Barbara came into my life, I started to think about, we'll stay at the house for a while, but maybe I've had so many years in the house, maybe we'll do something different. And so the first thing I did was I decided to sell the house and see what I can get for it. Now, unbelievably, and I'll say this in black and white, I bought the house with a swimming pool on Midbury, which was 1 block north of North Haven, for $36,000. I sold the house, I'm going to make you laugh, I sold the house for $500,000.
Ooh,
Okay?
nice.
Okay, but it was many, many years that
Yeah,
that,
and
that
that's
all
what
this
your
happened.
neighborhood, that's the going rate was.
I had no idea that, because I asked the real estate person that was handling it for me, I said, what do you think I can get for the house? And then she had walked around and seen them. She said, I can get you, I think, around $500,000. I said, to myself, not to her, you got to be kidding, to myself. But the truth of the matter is it was fast and clean. Fast, and she was right on the numbers. And so she says, so you're moving back to New York? I said, no, I'm not moving back to New York. She said, well, where are you going to live? Of course, she's trying to make a living too. She says, I'm selling your house, but where are you going to live? I said, and I looked up to the sky, this is all in the house. I said, well, what about the Bonaventure? And she said, do you know if there's anything available? I said, I've never been there. So she said, can I use your phone? I said, here it is. I gave her my phone and she called the Bonaventure. We have 3 apartments that are right now for sale. And she said, come in my car. Barbara came in with me. And we went to the Bonaventure. We looked at all 3. We picked out the one on the 13th floor. A great view. And I've been very, 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 very happy since I've lived at the Bonaventure.
Beautiful place.
It's a beautiful place. It really is.
It is.
And, you know, I tell people from New York, I got an indoor swimming pool, an outdoor swimming pool, a gym like you've never seen before. And
Concierge, lovely people in the front.
everything.
Everything you can want.
Correct,
Right.
correct.
Right.
And so I really now, when I think about it, I don't miss my house. Though I inherited a pool when I bought the house on Midbury, the first and only house that I owned up until the Bonaventure. And as a matter of fact, it was in the morning news, interestingly, on a Friday paper, Dallas Morning News, there was a big article that people were looking to move into the area that I was living with for many, many years, near the center, and but there was nothing. Nobody was selling. So I said, you want to know, Barbara? I think maybe this is the time.
Yeah.
People are trying to come in. I think I'm ready to get out. I've been here from 1960. I bought the house in 62.
Right.
The house was 3 years old. The house had a swimming pool. I paid $36,000 for the house, and I sold it for $500,000.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. And
That's it. No regrets.
And of course, my family in New York, the rich one, the rich one. Here comes the rich one.
That's how they looked upon you?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct,
Oh, well.
Correct.
That's
So,
okay.
life was great. From the day I moved to Dallas, Texas, my entire life started.
Well, it changed, that's for sure.
It changed and started
better.
for me.
Right.
And
No
that-
regrets, right?
No regrets at all.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I appreciate that.
Right.
Anything else you want to add to it?
Well, I've been happy, very, very happy ever since I moved to Dallas, Texas.
Good.
Really.
It's good to hear.
Right. Right. I had so many things going my way.
Yeah.
But I deserved it because I had nothing up until that time.
Yeah. That's right.
Right.
Well, that's wonderful. Well,
Right.
thank you so much.
Thank
Appreciate it.
you.